Hi, this is my review of Paratroopers Battle Pack number 1 for Combat Commander. This is the 2019 third printing. You get 11 new scenarios and 4 new battle maps. If we just have a look at the back here. So this game is mostly, it's not solely, but mostly around the US Paratroopers. And there are 11 new scenarios. So you've got scenarios for Baston, scenarios in Belgium, in France, and in Germany. So that's sort of a dual scenario. You do need to have a copy of Combat Commander Europe. Unlike some of the other Battle Pack expansions for Combat Commander, this is, I think, the only one where you only need Europe. You don't need the Mediterranean or the Pacific core games, but you do need Europe. But you can play all the content in here with the Europe core game. The sort of length of gameplay, I would say, is pretty comparable to the main core game. There are a nice selection of scenarios. We'll have a look at those in a minute. If we have a look at the game meter, Day Class Combat Commander bang in the middle on complexity. I would probably broadly agree with that. I've played Combat Commander a lot. It's one of my most played games, and the solitaire suitability is fairly low. Yes, I can see why they say that. I play it solo quite a lot and enjoy it very much. With a bit of tweaking, I think it solos quite well for a certain type of solitaire experience, I would say. So first up, the scenario cards. It's probably worth noting scenario 25, there's two parts to it. There's part A and part B. Part A is in the morning, part B is in the afternoon, both on 16th of December. They both have their own, both share the same map, but they both have their own sort of setup, as you can see. And I would say all the scenarios in this expansion pack, again, much like the main game Combat Commander itself, it's not a huge number of counters. So for example, this scenario, you've really got 4 line counters, a couple of leader characters, and the same for the Axis Force, slightly more for the Axis Force there. Got 4, a lot of Volksgrenadiers, some Fallschirmjäger, some conscripts. What's probably worth mentioning with those two scenarios, there are a bunch of special rules that apply to those scenarios, and they're listed on the back of the next scenario. Yeah, I enjoyed those quite a lot. It's nice to have some scenarios with their own specific special rules. I enjoyed that very much, and they're very nicely written. You get a good. The scenario cards are very clear. You know exactly what forces you should be using. Tells you how to set up the game. There's a nice piece of historical context for you as well. All incredibly well written, well presented. The cardstock's nice and thick, very durable. I've been through and played every single scenario in this expansion, some of them multiple times. Again, for example, on this scenario, scenario 34, 5 US paratrooper counters there, a bit more for the German forces here with 9 rifles, a few leaders, a few special, heavy weapons, medium machine guns and mortars and so forth. And like all this game, huge amount of replayability. Excuse me. Which is great. Again, some special rules specific to this particular scenario, which I really enjoyed using the sort of the power drop, which was great, and night drops. Yeah, a lot of fun. Had a lot of fun playing all these scenarios. I'm a big fan of this game series. Quite openly say that. It's I like this scale of game. squad-based tactical games a lot. One of my favourite sort of genres of war games, so I play them all. This one particular, Scenario 30, has some Russian forces, just for a change, which is cool. Enjoyed that one too. So yeah, all the scenarios I thought played well. They're nicely balanced. I played a whole bunch of them 2-player and played them all solo as well, playing both sides. I kind of have my own homegrown way of using the cards when I'm playing solo, but it creates a really good, strong, rich narrative I find with this game. But I found all the scenarios really enjoyable, and like I said, I played a number of them multiple times as well. Here's Baston. I enjoyed that one very much. Yeah, good stuff, great stuff, and well developed, I would say. It's not just a case. I didn't feel like it was just a case of just a few quick scenarios put together and published. I thought they were very nicely balanced and a lot of fun. Yeah, definitely. Hi, in this example, I've actually got a game set up. I've just finished this game, played it solo, and just want to highlight a couple of things. One is this is one of the maps that you get. You get 2 double-sided new maps. They're paper stock. This is under the plexi, so a little bit of light reflection. Apologies for that. But it's in the same art style, the same visual language as the main game. It's very clear what the contents of the hexes are. I personally like this art style. I'm well used to it. I enjoy playing this game on these maps very much. And this is I'm going to use this to highlight what I like about the scenarios and what I like about this game system in general. In this particular game, we've got US Airborne fighting against some German Fallschirmjäger. This is scenario 27, and in this case, the Airborne hightailed it down this sort of ditch area here into close combat. Were able to take an MG nest here in the foxhole, worked their way up, whilst at the same time some others were going to the top of the map through the marshland and engaged some Germans at the top there and were successful. Surprising turn of events due to the cards that were being pulled. They tried to take this last machine gun nest here with a heavy MG42. Again, Fallschirmjäger with a leader, and the Germans were able to fend off the US Airborne's attempt to attack in close combat, and it just led to this really rich narrative moment that in a normal game may have gone a bit different. It was a surprise to me when I was playing it. I kind of almost was going to call the game a little bit early and say, well, the US Airborne have been able to take 2 of the key objectives. That's it, game done. But I carried through, pulling some cards to see what could happen, and that's what I like about this game system. It's what I enjoy about these scenarios, is that rich narrative through the cards. Now I understand perfectly well for some players this heavy card driven game can at times feel strange, where you've got troops running in front of you and you just can't get the cards to be able to react to them. I feel the more I play this game system, and I've played this game system a huge amount now, that I always think about the events of the turn is not representative in real time in the game in my mind, if that makes sense. So that the cards you pull represent almost a difference in time to what your actual game turn is. And I enjoy that part. I enjoy the narrative that these games lend themselves well to. Overall, I would say, a lot of things I like about this scenario pack is what I like about the game. If you have the main Combat Commander Europe game and you're looking for an expansion and you've only got the Europe one, it kind of makes sense that this should be your first expansion, because you don't need the Mediterranean core game to be able to play all the contents here. And if you like in playing games in your mind or with another player, 2-player games with really focusing predominantly, I'll be honest with you, on the US Airborne, again, that's great. And the scenarios, like I said, are well written, well balanced, and a lot of fun. So yeah, if you love Combat Commander and you've got Combat Commander Europe, I highly recommend this expansion pack. Gives you more depth to the game, some more special rules to some of those scenarios. The scenarios are great. If you are thinking about getting into Combat Commander Europe, I would say that there's a lot of good stuff about that game that I like, and I might do a separate review actually of the Euro game as I'm talking about it right now. But I would say I've enjoyed these very much. I love the game system. I get it's very different because it's card driven to a lot of squad based tactical games. I enjoy that, and I enjoyed these scenarios very much. So yeah, great stuff, and yeah, thank you for watching.